And today, there's a silent trap inside most advertisers' minds and in their accounts. They launch the campaigns, the sales come in, and you feel smart. ROAS makes you feel successful. ROI decides whether your business survives. And if you don't know the difference, you're not scaling, you're gambling. Today, we fix that. So stick around, guys. We're going to get into it today. So, guys, by the end of the day, you will learn ROAS versus ROI, what actually matters, why good ROAS can lose you money, learn how to calculate your break-even number, and how to scale safely. So, guys, grab your coffees and grab your hats. It's time to spin up some ad magic. Woo! So guys, as you calculate ROAS or return on ad spend, it's a very simple formula. We have to take the revenue and divide it by the ad spend. What does this do? This measures ad efficiency. How much revenue are we generating for the ad spend that we've spent? But there are some secret observations that we need to make around this number. Now here, as you can see, is a very simple and common example of what a ROAS could look like, okay? The spend is $5,000, we made $20,000, which means the return on ad spend, or for every pound that we spent, we got £4 back, okay? Because 5 times 4 equals 20, right? So we managed to 4x that ad spend to make $20,000 revenue. Now, this looks good, okay? 4x ROAS looks very nice, okay? Very profitable. But most advertisers stop here, guys. But this is not the final picture at all. And something that I really want to draw to your attention, guys, why it's important now to understand what ROAS ignores, okay? ROAS ignores the cost of goods, the marketing cost, the overhead, the staff. ROAS tells you how efficiently your ad generated revenue. But revenue does not take into account all of those additional costs for the business. It does not tell you how much money the business kept. And that distinction matters because revenue is not profit. Now, to illustrate this point, I'm going to do an ROI calculation, right? A return on investment calculation. This is the important number that we need to pay attention to. Not ROAS, but return on investment. We need to move the needle for the businesses of which we are working with. And ROAS does not do that. Hey, look at all the money that our ads are making, but it is not the North Star. It is not the number that moves the needle. Okay, guys, so to illustrate this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the exact same calculation through an ROI calculator, right? So here the same numbers apply, right? We've got the return on investment is the ad spend, same as with the ROAS is $5,000, and the revenue that we made is $20,000. Cool. Now, let's break this down even more. Now we need to take into consideration the cost of goods, okay? The cost of goods was 50%. So we made $20,000 of revenue, but it cost $10,000 for those goods, okay? And this is what we need to now calculate in the ROI model. For fulfilling these orders, cost the business $2,000. Maybe they have payment fees like payment fees. Maybe there were refunds initiated, okay? What were the costs of the business? The cost of the business were $800. So as you can see here, the total cost to the business was $18,300. Now, what does that mean when we made $20,000 revenue? If it costs $18,300 to fulfill that $20,000 revenue, then the profit that we actually made was $1,700, okay? Very different from the 4x return that we said in our ROAS, okay? So this is the true number. This is how much profit the ads have brought to the business, how much those ads have moved the needle for the bottom line of the business. So that's why, as a sophisticated advertiser, you need to be looking at that ROI. You need to be looking and understanding the economics of the business, not just your ads, but what other costs are involved, what other overheads are involved, okay? Extract all those. Understand, okay, if we make this amount of money with the ads, how much does it cost to fulfill those orders, okay? Because that all comes from the profitability, guys. It's really important that we look at the ROI. It's the same principle. We either go to the client and say, hey, we've got a 4x ROAS, look how great our ads are, or we can say, hey, we have a 4x ROAS, but looking at the return on investment for the business, the profit that we've made is just over $1,700, okay, with that initial $5,000 ad spend and then the cost of goods to fulfill those orders, okay? So that's how you have to start looking at this, guy. Two types of advertisers, okay? The ones who optimize what the ad manager or the platform showed them, and the other one will optimize around what matters to the business, where they are creating leverage and having an impact and moving the needle for the business. You shouldn't scale ROAS, guys. You should only scale profitable unit economics, okay? Very important, and that's why you have to look at the ROI. Before we go through this, okay, we have an ad calculator tool. If you want to go and work all these numbers out for yourself, highly advise you to, but we have an ad calculator tool at the AdWizard agency that I highly recommend you go and check out. It's absolutely free. Go and type in your numbers and see what profitable looks like, where you're breaking even, and what you need to do to understand if you should be using ads in the first place or if your ads will be profitable when you go and do. Click the link down below, guys. guys, if you want to have access to the ad calculator completely free, go and try it out for yourself. And I'd love to hear your feedback. Now, guys, before we go, I just want to go through one of the frameworks that we have built in our ad calculator, okay? So I can just show you the mechanics of how we work this out from scratch, okay? Like I said, go and click that link down below if you want to have all this calculated for you, okay? But if you want to work these out from scratch, you want to go build your spreadsheets to calculate all this stuff manually, okay? I'm going to show you how you build a framework which protects the profit that you're making for the business, okay? Really important to understand 4 key pieces of information that is going to drive leverage and is going to move the needle for the business that you're working with, okay? So step number 1, guys, is know your real margin. How do we calculate that? It's not just the gross margin, guys, it's your real margin, okay? So you have to look at the revenue minus all of the cost that it takes the business to fulfill those orders or that service. It's staff costs, software, overheads, office space, whatever the business is spending, you need to minus that from the revenue. This will allow you to understand your real margin, okay? So as an example for you guys, here we have revenue per order of $100. The cost of supplying those goods and services is $50. Fulfillment is $10. They've got payment fees of $3 for that $100 order, and then they've got some refund adjustments. So the real contribution margin, okay, it costs the business all of these together to fulfill that order, okay? So we generated $100 revenue, and after we've taken into account everything it takes to fulfill that, okay, we are left with the real contribution margin, which is $35. That means for every $100 sale, you actually keep $35. So the real working margin, guys, in this case is 35%. We need to calculate the break-even ROAS. How do we do that? The break-even ROAS is 1, okay? For every pound that you spend, you get a pound back. So you need to take 1 divided by the contribution margin. Now, in the previous example, we calculated that was 35%. So 1 divided by 0.35 is 2.85. That means we need to have a ROAS of 2.85 just to break even, okay? Just to break even. If you say to the client, hey, we've got a ROAS of 3, that's really great, you're barely making money, guys, okay? So that's why it's important to calculate and have an understanding of all of these figures, all of these data points. Then you need to set your allowable CPA, okay? The allowable CPA is a contribution margin per customer, okay? Click that link down below where you go and generate these figures completely for free for yourself and apply them to your business, okay? The final step, guys, is ensuring that you know when you should be scaling, okay? What is the threshold that you need to reach to know, hey, this is really profitable, we need to scale now, okay? Looking at the break-even ROAS, when the ROAS is then profitable, okay, and then we say, hey, this is the benchmark that we know we need to hit before we start scaling, before we know this is very profitable for us. So we're not just scaling on a ROAS that is a 2 or a 3, okay, because that might not always be super profitable for the business. You need to calculate what is the scaling threshold, okay? And like I said, guys, we have an ad calculator. It calculates all this stuff automatically for you. If you want to try it out for yourself, okay, click the link down below. All you need to do is just type in your numbers and it goes and calculates all of these things for you in a very nice and easy to digest way, so you know what benchmarks you need to be hitting in order for your business to be profitable, for your business to be successful in advertising through Meta and Google Ads. Guys, like I've mentioned, if you want to try our ad calculator tool that does all of these calculations for you for free, click the link down below. You can try it for free today, guys, okay? Click the link down below to access the AdWizard Ad Calculator, where all of these numbers can be calculated for you without you needing to go and add them into a spreadsheet, guys. Hit that comment down below if you got any questions. And that's it for today, guys. Hopefully now you have a really good understanding as to the differences between ROAS and ROI, and how just looking at one can really negatively impact your business, okay? Super important you understand the distinction and the optimizing for ROI and not ROAS. Really important, guys. Hit me a comment down below if you got any questions. I'm your boy Jerry the Ad Wizard. You can find me on Instagram and X at Jerry Ad Wizard, on LinkedIn at Jerry Griffiths, and at Jerry Dreadlocks everywhere else. If you want to watch a video on how we use our amazing ad calculator tool, where we calculate all of this maths for you, okay, click this video over here. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'm your boy Jerry the Ad Wizard, and wherever you are in the world, I bid you peace and love and all for the rest of your day. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one.